back to our normal stuff. The National Basketball Association. I'll start out with this topic. Fred Hoiberg has been fired by the Chicago Bulls. Not surprising. I don't think he ever really made any connection with his players. He had that sort of weird mutiny that with Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler against Rajon Rondo and the young guys out there. The Bulls could never find a footing. They're in the middle of a rebuild. They haven't been able to take advantage of a terrible Eastern Conference despite this. So I guess the Bulls looked at it as like, if Fred Hoiberg can't win with this bad of an Eastern Conference, then we got to let him go. The Bulls have been ravaged by injuries, so that also affects them. So I don't know if, but maybe there's probably a disconnect with him and the players at this point. He's 3 seasons, I think, already so far, and you might as well just pull the plug and start over.
Yeah, I mean, this is a consequence of trying to hire a coach that is the complete antithesis of the coach that you let go in Tom Thibodeau, who is known for being a winner, a grinder, very demanding of men and young men. And then you get, and I'm not saying Fred Hoiberg is a bad coach. Some guys just don't translate well from college basketball to the big event here, you know? And he was kind of given a little bit of a shorthand. The Chicago Bulls, but his first season, they were barely at 500 with Wade and Jimmy and Rondo, and they got in. Then came the complete blow up. You feel like Bill Paxton kind of had him be a fall guy, but the talent wasn't there. You weren't winning. You weren't motivating guys. You couldn't maximize the potential of the guys you traded for when you got rid of Butler, Chris Dunn, Levine. Laurie Macon, I think, is going to be a good player in the making. He's just, injured. It's just a good time to do it. It gives them the opportunity to kind of join a program quickly that will inevitably fire their own coach in the college ranks. But now you get to have a season-long evaluation of management, of the young players that you traded for, see if you trade them away for a big fish, or just to get a proper coach, because there's some rumblings about Alvin Gentry being in a bad spot in New Orleans, which I understand because with that team, you shouldn't be under 500. So if any other firings come in, or you just see potential guys, I mean, there's a lot there. I mean, even you got to look at what's out there now with the coaches who might be at risk of losing their jobs on the professional level. So this is a good interview for them to kind of maximize the talent they have to sell the big name coaches, because that's kind of what you want now, right? You let Thibodeau earn his take as being a great assistant who became a tough coach and won you stuff. Couldn't get you to the big game, but the big three was a tough act to beat. And then you have Hoiberg, who just provided. So it's like, hey, but with this talent, you can make us better. Because it's a 2-way street sometimes when you have those high-priced, big-name coaches. They don't want to come into nothing unless they want a real challenge. So it was just inevitable. I feel like that's a topic there for me that I always say.
And the funny thing, I'm looking here. There was the Deadspin article for this. The Bulls have their permanent replacement. It's the veteran assistant, Jim Boylan. So it's not interim. He's the head coach.
Are they going? Is it just for the season, or is it going to carry
no,
over?
No, it's looking like that. He's the actual permanent replacement. Like he's the guy that they want. But it's funny that they mention this. He is not. I'm quote from the article. He is not to be confused with former Bulls interim coach, by the same name, Jim Boylan, but with instead of an A, the current Jim Boylan has an E in his name. Well, this one has an A in his name. Who took over in December of 2007 when the team fired Scott Skiles. So we've got the second Jim Boylan. This odd similarity already makes Jim Boylan more notable than Fred Hoiberg. Is their jab at him. So that's just a funny thing I wanted to bring up. And then there was the mention that a Flimicom put, remember when Bobby Portis punched Nikola Mirotic in the face? The Bulls are the most entertaining franchise ever.
Hey, Michael punched Steve Kerr. It's in the legacy right there. It's in the genes.
Yeah, they looked up at the rafters like, yeah, we're going to do that. Okay.